Good evening, expeditioners, swamp creatures, officially registered goblins, licensed weirdos, and highly suspicious citizens of Tricksterburg. I'm Astra Fox, the official chronicler of the expedition. Have been ordered to document carefully everything and in accordance to the paper archival standards. So, this is the third record of Tricksterburg Chronicles, the expedition to the Crocodile Street. So tonight we prepare our field journals, we will record the first expedition notes, sketches suspicious companions, collect strange evidence, and attempt to organize information that clearly does not wish to be organized. Tonight the expedition rests briefly upon the crackled stone steps of the abandoned Cheapworld Department Store. Above us, a broken neon sign flickers in sickly colors and buzzed like a nest of electric cicadas. Our previous record ended just after the expedition members completed their dossiers, swore loyalty to the Mad Duke of Tricksterburg, and received official instructions for the mission. The Mad Duke personally provided one handwritten map of presumably usable route to the Tavern of Rotten Moon at the Foggy Pier, one sealed magical bottle for Crocodile memories gathering, 3 warnings not to look into the water after the third bell toll, travel rations consisting of dried eels and sugar nails, a local Tricksterburg confection supposedly capable of holding one's thoughts in place, 1 emergency candle for improper darkness, and he sent us toward the outer districts of Tricksterburg, where the neon flickers, the canals whispers, and absolutely nobody agrees on the correct route. Further details may be found in the previous chronicle. Please correct or supplement the archive in the comments should your version of events differ from the official record. Tricksterburg's archives require only the most accurate information available. According to official records, the expedition began precisely at midnight beneath the broken neon sign of the abandoned department store Cheapworld. 1 letter no longer function, possibly 2. Following the Mad Duke's briefing, a short pause emerged among the expedition members. Alliances begin forming. Suspicions developed immediately. Piggle Monk, that naive little snout-faced creature who insists on sticking his nose into every possible disaster, was the first to discover a suspicious vendor of exotic sweets emerging from the fog beneath the broken neon lights. The vendor, Whizzle Mothwick, a 3-armed mothbug trader with magnificent whiskers and deeply questionable business ethic, rolled his battered candy cart directly into the middle of the gathering. Legend claims his cart can appear everywhere in Tricksterburg, at least in three places simultaneously, at any hour of the night. Upon it, terrifying delicacies, dusty confectionaries, pickled sugar, and candies imported from places no map properly acknowledges. Naturally, Pigglemonk immediately purchased a huge green glitterhorn beetle pop covered with the caramel glaze, a confection supposedly capable of producing decorative nose bubbles, especially when you lie. Later, Pigglemonk told me that he is fond of this candy because the crunchy ones are luckier. To be honest, no one knows what does it mean exactly. Unfortunately, the situation attached the attention of every least disciplined members of the expedition. Soon the crowd surrounded the cart in search of dust toffees that trigger memories belonging to complete strangers, flat swamp soda with no bubbles in a crumpled tin cans, and various glowing sweets and candies that probably should not glow. The vendor, Whizzle Mothwick, not only sells sweets at high prices, he also makes strange predictions and gives absurd advice to buyers. For example, he suddenly blurted out to Pigglemonk, "Don't be afraid of teeth." Pigglemonk practically jumped out of his skin, and Whizzle Mothwick went on, as a casually dropping the weather forecast for doomed dimensions. Some streets don't disappear on their own. Then, darting his eyes all over the place, trying to focus on Cardboard Constable, he creaked mockingly while twitching his antennas. "So, paper old-timer, still scared of puddles?" Like he'd known him and quietly despised him for several hundred years already. At the same time, Cardboard Constable, the official guard of the expedition, disciplined, imposing, extremely flammable, and painfully official, attempted to restore order according to expedition regulation paragraph something or other. His efforts achieved very little. However, morale remains surprisingly high. During this temporary collapse of discipline, I, Astra Fox, began assembling the first proper spread of the expedition field journal. After all, it's my duty to preserve reliable record of this increasingly questionable mission. Tonight's entries include official notes, poorly behaved expedition members, suspicious artifacts, several candy wrappers, and at least one prophecy that I strongly suspect will become everyone's problem later. While finishing the journal pages, I personally acquired my favorite crab candies filled with stored caviar from Whizzle Mothwick's cart. The old mothbug leaned closer, adjusted his whiskers, and quietly whispered, "Write carefully, archivist. Some things enjoy being read," which is not a comforting thing to hear in Tricksterburg. And now, you reckless members of the Mad Duke expedition, it's your turn. Fill on your expedition journal spreads, record your characters' actions during tonight's gathering, Your alliances, arguments, suspicions, terrible decisions, and questionable snacks purchases. What strange confection did you buy from the mothbug cart? Describe its flavor, ingredients, magical effects, and how it affected your character specially. Describe your interactions with your fellows. Perhaps you stole a shiny object from the enormous supply bag of the tiny mushroom elf. Perhaps you threw rotten berries at a cardboard constable. Perhaps you challenged Monk to fight. Perhaps you attempted to ride the humpback unicorn camel. Or perhaps something occurred beyond the notice of the official archive entirely. Not restrain your imagination. The archives require complete accuracy, and your version of events may become an important addition to the chronicle. You may download the expedition journal template through the link below and submit your completed pages to the certain expedition archive through my Telegram channel. Until next week's record, keep your lanterns lit, your journals dry, and don't trust reflections that behave too correctly. Signed and reluctantly organized, Astra Fox, the official chronicler of the Crocodile Street expedition.